Hey guys, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial to make sure everybody is comfortable with how they're going to be submitting their answers to the lab activities. So I'm going to use Lab 1, the scientific method one with the thumb wrestling, as an example. So keep in mind these lab handouts are in a PDF form, which means you will not be able to type the answers into the PDF form, which is because you won't be actually submitting that form. You're going to submit your answers by typing directly into the submission area here in LaLima, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and open up the Lab 1 activity folder. So you expand that folder, and under, of course, by now you've already watched your pre-lab lecture videos and done your activity, and now you're ready to write up your answers. So you're going to click your lab activity handout, and notice I put a link into the area where you'll submit your lab activity answers. But let's go ahead and open up the PDF just so everyone can see that, if you scroll down, notice you cannot type into any of these boxes because it's a PDF. So you will not be able to type into these boxes, so don't even try. But you don't need to, because if we go back to the LaLima area, you'll be clicking on this link where it says submit your Lab 1 activity answers here. So if we click that, there will be a link for that lab activity. So notice Lab Activity 1. So where we actually are, I put a link directly within the activity folder, but notice that you could also access this through this content button right here. It says Lab Activity Write-Up Answer Embedded and or Follow-Up Question Submission. So I could get to this page by clicking that as well. So if I click here, and you put begin assessment, make sure you read, if I put a little directions here, go ahead and read this. Not only does it remind you of the due date, but it'll notice that it'll say this is where you submit your answers. So click begin assessment, and notice what I've done is copied each question from the lab handout into this LaLima embedded assessment. So you observe the length of yours and your partner's right thumbs. Note your observations in the box below, that's this box, for observed differences in thumb lengths between partners. For example, right Bridget's thumb looks longer than my thumb. So I'm just going to click here, and notice I'm directly in LaLima. I'm going to type directly into this box. Bridget's thumb looks longer than my thumb. Okay. So that would be my answer for that question. Notice you have a max of 60,000 characters, but I don't think you'll need anything anywhere close to that. And if you scroll down, you'll get to question 2. So by moving along on your PDF handout, you'll be able to see that these are the same questions in order that are in that handout. And just keep going down. Now, some of these will actually ask you to, so for example, for each one of these questions, you'll just type the answer into the box. But some of these questions actually ask you to attach something like your graph or a photograph. Notice like on this one, it says plot and attach your column graph. So where you're making a column graph in Excel, and I've provided a little tutorial on how to do that. You're just going to save that graph as, for example, an Excel file or a JPEG, and then you'll just choose your file location. Let's say that my file was here. I don't know, let's pretend this picture was my graph. You would just click on it, open, and then you would see that photo is now attached. Okay, and notice there's a maximum file size of 20 megabytes. Anyway, so you'll just keep going down each one of these questions. Just type your answers directly into the box, and when you're all done, this will tell you the point value of each question. And assuming you've done all that, don't forget to attach the photo of yourself weighing your nickel. For these questions for conversions that require you to show your work, just again, show your work directly in there. 2 times 5 equals, whatever it is, right? And then finally, once you've answered all the questions, if you go down to the end, it says submit for grading. So just make sure you're not leaving this page while you're doing the work, and you can save along the way, but I recommend, fill this out when you're ready to actually submit it. So you submit for grading, and at that point it goes into my area where I can actually open up your answers and grade them. So notice it'll say you're about to submit this assessment for grading. Just kind of giving you a warning, and just hit it again, submit for grading. And kind of just wants to make sure you're ready. And boom. Okay, so you submitted it. And now you'll see it'll give a record of when you actually submitted it. It'll also give the date by which my goal for having the activities graded for the whole class will be there. All right, so I hope this helps. If not, let me know. But again, don't forget that you're actually typing your answers directly into Laulima. Thanks.